Hello and welcome. My name is Chris Cuban. I'm the president of the St. Louis chapter of the Public Relations Society of America, and we have several other chapters joining us today on this webinar series that we do every single week. This is the 10th edition of our webinar series. So again, welcome. This is going to be a little different because we are recording this and we're going to break it up into 3 different sections. Without further ado, Cedric King, and here's his story.
Wounded in action. Thankfully, he's here to tell his story.
July 25th, 2012. I got blown up in Afghanistan. I remember waking up 6 or 7 days later and seeing my mom and my wife at the hospital. My wife told me, they had to take your legs away. I've had low moments before, and I felt like it'd be better if I had just died that day. But my heart was saying, hey man, you got so much good to give. If you could just get out of this hospital bed, you would probably be pretty inspiring to other people. And then I thought, you know what? Let me dream big. I want to run a marathon. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run a marathon.
Cedric has a condition where his bone matter is still growing through his muscle tissue. And literally for you and I, that feels like you're walking on glass.
I began to think that I could do the impossible. Not just because of doing the impossible, just to do it, but to do the impossible, to show others that if I can do it, then they can do it. I'm not supposed to be swimming in a triathlon or running the Boston Marathon with no legs, but guess what? I'm gonna do it.
I had a chance to meet Cedric at the White House last year and see his courageous spirit firsthand. In so many ways, Cedric embodies the incredible resilience and strength of all of our wounded warriors.
Cedric has a burning desire that I haven't seen in a lot of people, that he's got to do this.
It gives me my distinct honor to welcome an American hero to the stage. Give it up, you guys, right now, like Chicago knows how to, for Master Sergeant Cedric King.
I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Yes, I am, yes, I am, yes, I am. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
Here's the deal. You have to be totally okay with looking like a fool sometimes. And if you're not okay with that, then you're sure to fail. The best part of you is being exposed through the trials, through the tribulations, through the struggle.
Right now, I'm on my way to becoming the better version of what I was before.
Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing.
If you could approach the adversity as a friend and not a foe, and ask yourself questions like, what is this coming to teach me? Not what is it coming to take away from me, but what is it coming to teach me? We have to learn to embrace heartache and pain and use them as an ally to further God's plan.
You can take my hands, you can take my eyes, you can take my hearing, but what you cannot take away from me is that spirit inside me that wants to win.
I have goosebumps just watching that. And if you want to follow Cedric King, I encourage you really to go to LinkedIn and befriend him on social media. See all the inspirational videos that he posts on a weekly basis. It's truly amazing. He lives in Duluth, Georgia, which is just north of Atlanta, has a beautiful wife, Kaida, and 2 amazing daughters. So, Cedric, why don't you take it away?
Hey, Chris. First of all, I want to just say thank you for this amazing opportunity to help people out, especially during this tough time. Our country, our world is in a place that we haven't been ever. And I know that I also have been in a place like this before, which sort of makes COVID-19 or quarantine a little bit easier. And I hope that the information or some of the things that I live by can also help some of the people that are going to be on the line today. I know that this whole mentality that I didn't have it in the beginning. So it proved to me that this could be taught. This could be something that not just I could have a monopoly on this type of information, but also I could share it with others. And that's what I've been doing for the last 7, almost 8 years. is sharing how I think and sharing what works for me. And I found that it's helped so many other people as well. It will make us all better. I'll tell you, if you're the leader of a team right now, if you're the leader of a team, and most of us are a leader of some team, whether it be in your neighborhood, whether it be in your home, whether maybe you're a parent or a spouse, if you're in a team at your job, it does not matter. You must be the focus point to drive change forward. I know this all too well by being in the military. There comes moments where things must be done. Calls have to be made. And if you're in this place right now, I will tell you, it's not an easy job. It's a lonely job. It's lonely sometimes. But this is where you become better. You become better. You become stronger. Leadership. Maybe one of the first things that I had to learn in the military as a leader, I got, I don't know if you can see it, but part of my men, a picture of all of us before we went to war. Part of being a leader is understanding that it's not being liked. It's not called likership. I'm telling you this from experience. I am the one that failed at leadership in the very beginning because I wanted to be liked. I want to be liked. I cared more about being liked than leading. And when you care more about being liked than leading, then you begin to lose the team. A part of you has been sacrificed. Your leadership cannot be effective if you're focusing on being liked. I'm not talking necessarily to you right now, but I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to the part of me that wanted to be liked for so long. Just want people to like me. And when I was focusing on being liked, I lost my teams. People need leaders, not friends. They need leaders. We are in a deficit of leadership in our world today. Friends, we got friends popping out of the yin yang. But I will tell you this, we need leaders. And what I didn't understand was, if I am just a leader, I will have friends. But if my focus becomes on making friends, I will lose the thing that I really treasure, which is wanting to be liked. Yes. You can truly lose friends if you're focusing on making friends. But if you focus on being a leader, you'll have friends. If you focus on leading, that is where the friendships remain. Once I found out that it was the leader that they needed, not the friend, then the friendships last to this day. The friendships that don't last are the ones that I went after trying to be friends. And I will tell you, you do the same thing. You do the same thing. Another part of the leadership focus on this conversation is this. It's two parts to the leader, okay? It's two parts to the leader that I found that work very well. It's the leader that can balance the hammer and the heart. It's both. It's the hammer, the leader that's tough, that has deadlines, the leader that has to get things done, the leader that is laser focused, the leader that knows exactly what's got to be done and knows how to get it done using the team. The one that drives the team. But on the other hand, you gotta also have a leader that can hug, that has a heart, that also knows, hey, it's your birthday. The leader that also knows, hey, your family had a tough weekend this weekend. Is everything okay? The leader that can balance the hammer and the hug, the hammer and the heart. Leaders that can balance the hammer as well as the hug have an amazing a trajectory. The leaders that know that it's not just about deadlines all the time. It's also about making sure you get the people home to dinner. The people that understand, hey, listen, hey, your daughter has a birthday today. Hey, why don't you take off and take care? That is where you start building a real team. The leaders that know how to balance the two, that know when to pour it on and be tough, but also know, hey, being tough right now, I can't use it. Too much hammer, you'll break them. Too much hug, you lose them. You got to know when to balance the two. Always keeping it in balance. There will be times where you're going to have to hug. And there will be times where you're going to have to hammer. And leading will teach you. And last, I would talk about, I'll say this. If you're really interested in leading people effectively, the very first thing the military taught me is you gotta be a good follower. Stop thinking that you're going to be able to lead without ever having to follow. You must be a servant before you can be served. Stop thinking that there is some sort of wiggle room there. It's not. It's not. There's no wiggle room. There's no pass go and get $200. There is none of that. We've seen it. We've seen it in our world today. We've seen leaders that have had very little time serving. We've seen leaders that have never been followers. It's a recipe for disaster. Disaster. If you're truly focusing on being the very best leader that your organization can have or may ever have, your focus right now needs to be on being the best follower possible. Being an amazing follower gives you the ability to know what the leader really needs. It gives you the vantage point of seeing leadership on the following side. And it also gives you the ability when you become a leader to see what the followers should do. Give your 100% effort in being the best follower. Give all that you can. Give everything that you can to the person who is leading. There will come a day where you will want that same participation, that same help in return. And you will have it. The tough part about leaders that have never followed, it's this. They will always be wondering, why? What is the follow? What are my teammates? What are they doing? Are they really doing what I said? Are they trying to circumvent the system? Are they trying to bring me down? I've seen leaders that have been so suspect at what the followers are doing that it's very hard for them to lead effectively. They don't trust. And when you can't trust your team, it's going to be very hard to lead. You being an amazing follower, it engenders the trust that you will need one day. It gives you the push that you will need one day. And I will leave you with this. I will leave you with this. The last thing is this: faith. I will close with this: faith. And I'm going to open it up to questions. So if you're starting to have questions, please put them in the chat, not just for your own information, not just for your own benefit, but also for the good of all that are on here today. It is this: it's faith. It is faith. Believing greater than what you can see. Believing greater than what the facts say. Are you able to see everything that the facts are telling you and continue to believe above it? Are you able to say, I know what the bills say. I know what the medical report says. I know everything. I know the facts. I see what the facts say. But my faith supersedes the facts. Are you able to do that? Are you able to put faith over the facts? Are you able to put your faith over what you know is about to happen? See, that is where we become stronger. There will come a day where all of this has subsided. All of the storms have subsided. There will come a day where the storm does pass. And when the storm is past, you're going to want to know, did I keep the faith? Did I continue to believe when it was not easy to believe? Or did I jump ship? Did I jump over the fence when things got tough? If you jump the fence when things get tough, you will always be jumping the fence. You will always be running when things get tough. Stay put. In the military, we call it hold your post. Hold your post. Stay put in what you believe. When things get tough, stop running away. Stay put in what you believe. Even at the detriment of your safety sometimes, I will say stay put. That's the only way you're ever going to know if you can quiet the storm, not from hoping and wishing, but if you can quiet the storm from inside. Sometimes the toughest, loudest, most powerful storms aren't on the outside of the house, it's on the inside of the house. And you being able to quiet the storm from in here is what gives you the true power. It's what gives you true strength. Not going and asking people to do this or to do that. Not just praying to God and saying, Lord, just please quiet the storms. God wants to know if you are able to quiet the storms before he does.
Thank you so much, Cedric, again for being part of our webinar series and making this an awesome day.
Thank you. You got it, Chris. Hey, thanks so much, you guys. Have a great one.
Bye.
Thank you.